I have a question. Question here.
What's up, gods? I didn't even get set yet, and there's a question. Okay.
Not everybody is a parent, but everybody had a parent or somebody that was in charge of them as a child.
Okay.
And we just asked you who your greatest teachers were. And you said your brothers, and then your sons, and lastly, women. And there weren't any parents on the list. And so it made me think, what are our parents for?
Programming. Our parents are for programming. That's what our parents are for. Your parents are going to tell you how it is in this life. And they're going to give you a structure of what's going on in this life and how it is in this life. And then in this family, what's going on in this family and how it's going to be in the family that's even closer to you, that's outside of life itself. That's what the parents do. The parents give you the introduction to everything. And they hold you accountable to the introduction.
How long do we hold on to what our parents give us?
You know how long you hold on to it? Because these are what you use to bounce truth off of. Not everything your parents are going to tell you is truth for you. It may have been truth for them for the time they lived. That's why we always having a problem with our parents, because of the time zones and when they lived, things were one way and how things are now. So you have to be able to look at what your parents give you, like Batman's belt. Your parents are going to put a whole bunch of shit on you and think that that's what you need today, because that's what was needed when I was coming up. So I'm going to cover you by making sure that you are safe by the stuff that frightened me and when we came up. Now, today you might not need all of this shit. Like if you're on skateboarding, right? You know how your parents put the elbows, and they put the helmet, and they put the knee pads, and they have the gloves and the wrist. And some kids be out there trying to skateboard, but they can't move because the parents said, this is what you need. You see the difference? You can differentiate yourself. Mom, I don't need elbow pads and a helmet and knee pads for skateboarding. I've been doing it a long time. Hell, I'm jumping off the side of these walls. So that teaches you what you can pick up from what your parents gave you and what you put down from what your parents gave you that you don't feel that you need. But your parents are just, they're your first foundation. They give you all, they're like the fire department. Bring everything. Bring everything. It's better to have it and not need it, and instead of needing it and not having it. That's what a parent is.
People graduate from their parents at different ages.
Yes. Yes. Because sometimes parents aren't there for very long. And sometimes, but you know what, hold on, let's talk about this for a minute. Let's define something. What is a parent? Who really is a parent? Because like I said, my brothers were my responsibility. And who taught me how to have my brothers my responsibility? My parents taught me that they were your responsibility, and this is what we require of you when you're watching them. I didn't have these kids. I didn't have these kids. But my parents gave me that responsibility because they're not going to be around all the time. Kids are going to be with each other longer than they're going to be with their parents. So the parents put them together, and somebody's got to be in charge. Somebody's got to be responsible. Someone has to be held responsible. So I think we have to understand what a parent is, because an older brother or an older sibling is like a parent too. They are like a parent because they spend more time with that child than the parent does. I can attest to that 100%. Me and my brother spend way more time together than me and my dad, or me, my dad and my brother. No, me and my brother spend way more time together than our parents. So, I mean, what really is a parent? Is a parent because someone biologically birthed you? Or is a parent because someone adopted you? Or is it a parent because someone you chose? What is a parent? Is a parent somebody that's taking responsibility for a certain part of you in your life? What's a parent? Sometimes I got to give you guys back your own question, because I try and answer some questions, but then I have to stop because in my mind keeps saying, wait a minute, what the fuck is a parent? End of all my answers right there. I have to stop because I'm like, I don't even know if we think a parent is the same thing. That's why I had to come backwards and start again. And I'm glad you saw that because that's how my mind works. I couldn't keep going and my mind was like, this ain't feeling right. Something's wrong with this communication. So I had to reevaluate my feelings because I wasn't articulating all the way. In the last video, we talked about being able to articulate your feelings. And if you find out while you're articulating your feelings, they start changing, you stop. You back up and find out, okay, wait, something's changed. And you be honest about that, man. You be honest about you don't feel the same way in the middle of a sentence that you're answering. You are allowed to stop and back up and say, wait a minute, I'm changing the way I think and feel right here on the spot. I think I diverted from the parent thing, but I remember what we was talking about. The question was, what is a parent?
It's just your first example. Your first example, your first introduction.
To everything.
Everything.
Well, a parent can be your best friend. A parent could be your best friend. That's your first example to, you know what happens? What happens when we leave home? What happens when your kids leave home? And your kids are in the streets now and they're learning. Who are they learning from? They have parents on the street. Oh yeah. How else do you think your kid get back home at night? How else did you get back home at night? We have parents on the street. It might be that pimp, it might be that player, it might be your principal, it might be somebody, but somebody's going to be your surrogate parent on the streets that you're going to listen to. So, I think a parent is somebody that you decide that you're going to listen to. I think that's the definition of a parent, is who are you listening to, because you're supposed to listen to your parent.
So parents are made by their children. They're assigned by the child. The child says, I'm calling you my parent. You are my parent because of how I respond to you.
There you go. Who do you want to listen to? And she just explained, I want to listen to you. I want you to tell me, and that is my parent because I'm going to follow that person and listen to them. They didn't birth you. That's okay. I want to follow them. So I think we should use parent a lot looser than we use that word parenting, because most people don't follow their biological parent. Most people don't even want to hear from them or talk to them. Most people don't believe anything they say, the biological parent. Most of them, yeah. Most people listen to things outside their house way quicker than inside the house. And it's probably because the parent is disconnected. The generations are disconnected. The generations are too far apart to where the child doesn't feel that the parent understands them or are on the same vibration that they are. And I think we don't have that problem as much as we did in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, because the 80s was the birth of rap, and they still rapping to this day. My generation brought forth rap, and they're still rapping to this day. So me and my son's generation are like very close because we still speak in the same language. Feel me? I mean, look at where I wake up. I have to go back to that earlier question when I told you everything starts where you want to wake up. It really does. Everything starts where you want to wake up. And that feels good. I'm gonna go jogging, and I'll catch you guys later. But the camera's gonna focus on this beauty. Don't focus on me jogging. I'll see y'all later. And remember, you are